Hello and welcome. This is Julie Silver Stitches here on FlossTube and on Instagram. Sorry, I'm trying to get it so that it's not glaring in my face. So, welcome. This is a FlossTube episode for cross stitch, and today is Sunday, December 14th, 2025. Welcome. I've already filmed this once. I don't know what it was about it. I think it was because I wasn't able to fully speak. There were a lot of words that were like it wasn't working. I don't know. I seem to have to always film at least once before I release it to the world because I don't know, I get all my words out. I don't know the answers. Anyway, but welcome. I live in Ontario, Canada, and here we go. So I worked on a bunch of things and nothing at all. Does that make sense? I was busy all week. Life was busy, so life was lifing this week. Life will also be lifing next week, but at least it'll have a little bit more downtime per se because treatment. So I'll be in the hospital with James for 2 days. Essentially 6 hours a day. So I will have something to bring with me and work on at that point. If you don't know, I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but James has 2 autoimmune illnesses that, for one of them, he gets it's called a pulse, anyway, IVIG, so immunoglobulin for one of his autoimmune illnesses, and that helps him greatly. So once a month, we are there for 2 days in a row, or for every 4 weeks. So, is what it is. Okay, so, I think if I calculated everything correctly, I still don't have one of the pieces that I worked on that I didn't show last time, but I might pause and go get it and then come back in a little bit, but, okay, so FlossTube itchy nose, of course, because why wouldn't we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go with 10. 10 things I worked on. 3 of which were new starts. So here we go. I will start out with what we worked on first, I guess, after I filmed on Saturday the 6th. Today is now the 14th. So it's been a little while, but like I said, life. Starting out with this. This is White Mandala 3. I was able to put in a total of 211 stitches. I don't know why. There was no rhyme or reason for any of these first things that I did. But 211 total stitches went into this. Here we are. Nope. This way? Sure. Okay, so I worked on a bunch in here. I think last time you saw it, I had these 2 done and maybe 1/2 of this. And I don't really remember, but that's okay. 211. I'll put all the information down here of percentages and whatnot so that you all know. But yeah, no, it's been fun. It's a very slow work in progress, but I don't pick it up very often, so that's why. I'm sure it would go zoom, 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 if I actually worked on it, but that's okay. 211 was a very good starting point for picking it up again. The next one that's written down here on my handy-dandy little journal, because I didn't have this last time I filmed, was Steampunk Portal. Steampunk Portal is a Heaven and Earth Designs stitch along that was for this year. 100 stitches went into this one. I ended up stitching in this square right here. So it's coming along. I know it's not going to be done, obviously, for the end of the year, because, nope, not at all. But progress is progress, no matter how small. I was never planning, I don't think, on finishing it this year at all. So, the next one up is Pokemon Starters. Pokemon Starters is by Cross and Floss on Etsy. I looked into it this week and found out that it is now Pattern Keeper compatible. So, if you were at one point looking at stitching it and you didn't want to anymore because it wouldn't go into Pattern Keeper properly, that has now been resolved. So, here we go. Again, I'll put all the information down below. But this is where we're at. I put in 238 stitches along this side wall for Grookey. I pretty much filled him in of what we were working on. I filled in the rest of Trico's hand. Yeah, this is going to be fun again because now I can actually search for the colors on Pattern Keeper instead of having to find them myself. It's going to be great. Next up is the one that I don't have right here right now, but I will show you Ornament Dragon. Ornament Dragon is a design by Heaven and Earth Designs. The artist is Lisa Parker. And I will explain the game of what I'm doing for this when I talk about plans. So, but you just need to know now that I put a whole whopping 64 stitches into it out of the 100 that I owe it. But I would like to show you the starting of a star. That's exciting because up until now, as you can see, it's all been the grays and the light tans and all those muted colors. And now I can actually see something forming, so that's very exciting. I'm very excited to now work on this again because I can finally see something. So today, before I put this away, I'm going to put in another 36 stitches-ish. And for this rotation, call it done. I also worked on, that I didn't write down because at one point I guess I was stitching and not writing in my planner anymore this week, but I also worked on a little bit of Praiseworthy Stitches, Simple Gifts Christmas. This is being done on a 32 count piece of fog by Picture This Plus. It is using all of the called for Journal Arts and Weeks Dye Works threads. I'm doing it 2/2, and I am stitching it 2/2. This is the whole thing so far. And whole thing. And then what I was working on was I turned the corner and I started in on the next little motif that is along the sidewall, the left-hand side of the project. I feel like I need to rip this part out though because I need to go back and unstitch some because I think I ended up putting I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to continue on, but it flustered me enough to stop. So yeah, this is not stitched properly. It's in the right spot. It's just not over the right amount of threads. So one of the stitches is over 3 instead of over 2, and that was bothering me, so I couldn't see it anyway. Since I last, I need another magnifying light that works. Process of getting one, I think, but the current glasses that I have aren't strong enough to see the itty bitty teeny tiny little holes. because I'm 43 now, and apparently my vision is not the same as it used to be. So, yeah, I need that super 5 times magnifier light. Otherwise, nothing happens on these smaller count, larger count. What are they called? Fabrics. Larger, smaller count fabrics. Larger count fabrics. Smaller. You know what I mean. I dropped it. I dropped it. Hold, please. Okay. Because cats, if I don't clean it up now, it's never going to get cleaned up. And then some furry thing is going to make it even more furry, even though it's not furry enough at all. Hold, please, coughing. I think somebody from Denmark transported her coughing thing to me somehow over the internet. No. I went to go see a friend the other weekend, and I think the whole house decided to start having a cold at one point over the last week. And so when we were there last weekend or 2 weekends ago, it definitely was like in the starting. And so I think I might have... Anyways, we're fine. Everybody's fine. One more thing that you're never going to need to see again ever, because I didn't finish it, don't worry, out of this book. You're never going to need to hear me again talk about the roof of this project, because the roof of this project is done. So the top page, except for the clouds, because I'm not doing them white on white, I'm not doing it. The top of the house, the top of the roof is done. I no longer have to complain. I no longer have to say anything because I finished up the back stitches on the roof. So that is good. I just need to now stitch the rest of it. So this is Spring Cottage by Alma Lynn Hayden. I was working on this while I was watching DM's Crafty Vortex. Not her latest video, but the one before it, maybe. So that made it all worthwhile, because I no longer have to look at that roof ever again. I mean, when I work on it, of course, but I don't have to stitch on that roof ever again. Thank goodness. So that is a milestone, if anybody's counting milestones. I don't know if anybody is, but hooray. I'm going to pause the video, get the one last thing that I worked on before I talk about my new starts. Hold, please. It was already on the couch. Okay, back to my sunlit yellow bag. Okay, so I ended up putting... How many stitches? Did I add it all together? 406 plus 159, whatever that is. $406 plus 159 into See You Later. This is by Happiness, and I ended up getting the last time you saw it, I had Out the Door done. And then now I have Out the Door Dinosaur, and I have completed the dinosaur. So, hooray! That's good. Yes, dinosaur is done. So, be sweet parakeet, give a hug ladybug, see you soon raccoon, out the door dinosaur. It's not going to be finished for Christmas, so I am going to be carrying it into the new year because I want to see it finished. I just don't have the patience to do 300 or 400 stitches a day on it now that it has to do to be done by Christmas. Sorry, knocked the camera. So that's not happening, but give it time. It'll be done. It'll be done. Okay, so that was the thing that I thought I had somewhere else behind me, but apparently it was on the couch. I have a lot of stuff on my couch right now. It's all cross-stitch related. I didn't realize it was on my couch. This whole thing. Anyways. Okay, so that's that. Now on to my new starts, because why wouldn't I have new start? Not why wouldn't I have new starts? But I feel like I did really well this year of the no new start situation. Right? Maybe? Anyway, so I started out the new starts on the 12th of December. I can't tell you how many stitches I put in because I haven't been really tracking them. But I started out with some Stitches So Beautiful charts, but not from the sale, just from her Facebook page. And I started out with cookies and cocoa. This is at one point during the 25 days of freebie giving. This was one of her charts. So this is where it's at. I'll put all the information down here because it was a limited chart, so you're not going to be able to get it anymore. But at the same point, what do you think's going on with my arm? Anyway, lighting. Weird. Sorry. This is where we're at. So I know I put a couple hundred in because otherwise it wouldn't look like this. I only worked on it one day. There is stitches over here. They're just light. I started out from biggest to smallest. Didn't have that darker color yet, and not yet. I didn't locate the darker color yet. I had it somewhere, but I didn't have it in front of me. So I started out with the lightest color. Realized that lightest color. No way, man. No, I can't do the lightest color to. I was gonna go in order from biggest number to the smallest number and just stitch one color at a time, but that didn't happen. So, yes, Cookies and Cocoa by Stitches So Beautiful. And it's not that I have a fan going over the light. I don't know if it's light from the outside that's making my... It's fine. I don't have plans for when I'm going to continue any of these. I just knew that I wanted to start them because I was excited. Okay, the next thing is I caved, and through help of Siski and a finding of a gift card, MasterCard that I had from a few Christmases ago, I was able to purchase 2 charts. One chart through the Head sale, through the Heaven and Earth Design sale, was QS The Grand Library. It's just a snippet of one of the illustrations of that whole chart. And then I was able to get mini winter Christmas cookie party. Mini winter cookie party. Anyways, this is not what this is, though. Okay, so I was able to put in, again, I don't know how many, a bunch of stitches. It was really fun. I didn't want to put it down, but I had other things to do that day, so this is where I'm at. I'll put all of the information down here just so that you know. But this is the mini version, so it will fit on this fabric that I have here, so that's good. If I were getting the large version, or like the regular size version, or the whatever other version, I would need to go out and source fabric, and that wasn't happening, so that was a new start. For the December, whoever else is stitching on this, start along, that it seems like all of FlossTube of the full coverage stitchers are doing. The next thing, day 3 of starts. This was yesterday. No, not this. Oh, good grief. This one? Nope. This one? Sure. Maybe? Nope. What did I just do with the one that I just had? There's so much stuff over here. There's a lot of stuff, plus a sleeping cat, so... All right. Okay, so... This, I know how many stitches I put in. This is vintage... I still don't know the actual title. Vintage Christmas Gnomes, I think. Stitches So Beautiful. And this is 100 stitches. This is the bottom left corner. And, yeah. Ta-da! 100 black stitches. This is the tire of the left. This is the bottom left tire I'll put the picture, or I already put the picture, or I don't know yet. Anyways, those are all of my whips of the week, all of my new starts. I did not have any finishes because I was not in a finishing mood, so no finishes. But I already showed you my acquisitions because I just already did that. So this new game that I was talking about before is I don't really have a name for it, but it involves 13 projects, and a deck of cards. So 2 through ace, so 13 projects. Yep. Right? Yeah. Oh my goodness. 13 projects. And if I pull up Project for the King, I need to stitch. It's all in a spreadsheet. So I need to stitch 100 stitches on the King's project. If I magically pull up 10, 100 stitches on the project for 10. If I pull up a second 10, because I'm going to reshuffle them always in, it'll increase the stitches on that project. I don't know what I'm going to increase it by, if it's going to be by hundreds, if it's going to be by 50s. I don't know yet. So, I think it's going to, the original plan was I was going to take whatever suit it was, spades, that would be a specific multiplier of whatever project number it was. So like if it was a 2, if it was project number 2, like the card was 2, wherever the 2, anyways, and you came up with the 2 of spades, then 2 times whatever the multiplier for the spades was, that's how many stitches it would be. But I felt like that wasn't enough stitches for the smaller carded projects. So I decided that I was going to do hundreds, but then we'll see how that goes. And then, so I think what's going to happen is 100, 200, 300, 400, every time a different, every time that card gets called. Otherwise what? I don't know what I was going to say. That's okay. No problems at all. So plans for this week. Treatment Wednesday, Thursday. Treatment Wednesday, Thursday. Shoveling here and there if we need to because, snow. And working. That's all I got. That's all there is this week. I hope that everybody, as for stitching, I'm going to continue on with this game. So I'm going to put in 36 more stitches on Ornament Dragon. I finally have a groove going because of that star. And so I'm excited about that. I just randomly chose 13 projects out of random number generators to choose the digital chart that I was going to use. Some fun upcoming New Year's plans. So it's really just sweet. That's what I'm doing right now. If I want to work on it, I'll work on it. If I don't want to work on it, I'm not going to work on it because, life is too busy to stitch on what you don't want to work on. But for the new year, I gave a list of not everything, not all 50 something, but the whips that I could feel like I could pull into the new year. I gave them on an Excel sheet document to test stitches. Her and I have a 16-hour time difference. So she's sleeping, I'm awake. I'm sleeping, she's awake. It's a whole thing. But anyway, there's a few hours per day that we kind of correspond with each other. But I gave her all of the games that I want to play in 2026. Temperature Stitching, Trains, Milestone Manor. If you haven't heard of that yet, go check out Jessie Marie. She has definitely not perfected what she's going to do yet. As of today, I think. I watched her latest video yesterday, I think, and she said, I'm not ready to share to the world, but this is my idea, right? So I said, oh, that is a great idea. So I'm using all of the different apartments in my building. I have 10 apartments in my building. There's 3 different hallways and 3 different sets of stairs. So let's see how that goes. If I wanted to be technical, there's like 5 sets of stairs, but that's just to get up to that individual apartment. So no, I don't think we're going to do that. But, and I said, so train game, Temperature Stitching, Milestone Manor, and Whip Go is what I said to test. And I said, here are the parameters for each of the different games that I want. Use digital charts, use paper charts, use a mixture of charts, whatever you want. This is how I'm going to do each game, you know, counting the stitches or time or whatever it is, and just surprise me. So later this month, probably, hopefully before the 31st, she will get back to me with a document that looks completely blank, because what she's going to do is make all of the projects that she chooses for each game, she is going to white them out. So she's going to make the color of the font white, and until I'm ready to stitch that square, that temperature, that milestone manner, that train color, whatever it is, I will have no idea. So that should be pretty exciting. And I think if she gets the document to me, I'm going to do the same for her. But that's up in the air. I am also doing a Whip Wars with Tess starting in the new year. This is going to be the chart. It is by My Big Toe Designs. And if I could remember the name of the chart, that'd be great. But I can't. So there's 814 stitches. So we are going to make wheels. We're not doing cards. We're going to do a wheel. And I think it's going to be like 5, 10, 15, 20, up to 50. I don't know. Up to 50 maybe. And that's how we're going to do it. Because, or, yeah, multiples of 5, up to 50. So that we're not putting any more than 100 stitches in. But at the same point, we're still getting progress on it. We don't want it to only be a couple weeks. We want it to kind of just be, you know, a couple long weeks, a longer time frame, rather than just getting it done in like 2 weeks. Oh, we're done. You know, we're not doing that. So, yeah, that should be exciting. And what else? Skitter's, he's now sleeping on the couch. And last video that I had, Charlotte came walking across the couch and she did some cleaning and stretching, and it was very cute. But I think she's passed out somewhere else now. I haven't seen her. She was talking through that whole last episode that I deleted because I didn't like me in that last episode, so I deleted it, even though Charlotte was super cute and super crying for who knows why. No idea. But I'm going to let you go there. If you have any questions, comments, anything about anything that I shared, anything that I showed, anything that I talked about, leave them down below. I do like to see what people have to say. Like the video, subscribe. Thank you for the new subscribers. If they have joined me since the last video, the more the merrier. I'm here every week just to share my love of stitching. But if you wish to join me on my adventure of stitching, then, you know, come along for the ride. If you've been watching and you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead. I was very excited to get over the 300 mark. I have leveled off over that 300 mark, so thank goodness. And I plan on just growing my little channel that could kind of thing. I don't, I don't do giveaways and I don't do anything exciting like that, but I do want to know what you're working on. If you are working on anything, I might look it up and be persuaded to start before the 31st. But we'll see how that goes. If you are doing what you love, if you are spending time with the people that you love, that is all that matters. Take care of yourself. It is going to be a busy time of year. Happy Hanukkah, if you do celebrate Hanukkah. It's coming up, I think, starting tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first day. Tomorrow's the last day. I think it's tomorrow. Anyways, I will see everybody when I see you next week. Have a great stitchy week. I hope everybody stays safe and warm, or safe and cool, and happy and healthy and all of those things. Sparkle and shine. See everybody later. Bye.